Trying to make it 5 out of 6 on the year. Jordan, perfect.
Michael Jordan.
Doug Collins said that when Jordan's hitting that jump shot, it's a guaranteed 40 points. So we'll have to wait and see if Doug is right.
5:35 to go. Thomas runs into Oakley, and Oakley is called for the foul, and that's 2 on Oakley. So Sellers and Oakley, the starting forwards, each have picked up 2 fouls here.
And Doug is going to have to make a change and bring Horace Grant off the bench because he can't afford to lose this early in the first half. Oakley.
Didn't I see Horace Grant play yesterday against Arizona in the NCAA semifinal?
I'll tell you, boy, Horace was so excited about his brother Harvey Grant for Oklahoma and seeing his success and having a chance to win that national championship.
5th foul, a penalty, and Thomas misses the first free throw, but Horace Grant is in the game, and he came from Clemson. Harvey will be going for the national championship on CBS tomorrow night as Oklahoma tangles with Kansas. Thomas makes 1 out of 2, and the lead is 6 for the Detroit Pistons. Scottie Pippen, Vincent, Jordan, Corzine, and Grant. Corzine, ball away. Dave Corzine will be 32 years old later this month. Now started the last 17 games for Chicago.
He's the old man of this team. Youngest team in the league, the Chicago Bulls.
Isolate the experienced Dantley against the rookie Pippen. That's what Detroit wanted, and no one there to help out.
Again, allowing Dantley to get post up so close.
Good penetration by Vincent. Boy, Vincent played very well in a Celtic uniform against the Pistons last year in the playoffs here. Thomas misses a 3. Dantley on the other side keeps it alive. Dumars wide open. Joe Dumars with 4 points. Good balance by the Pistons. All 5 of their starters have scored, led by Dantley and Laimbeer with 6.
Well, so far, Mahorn and Dantley have responded very well to Chuck Daly making that lineup change and having them start again.
Jordan, turning into a one-man gang now, is in double figures with 10 points. The lead is 4 for the Pistons, and it's off the hands of Mahorn. And now it's a 4-on-2 break for Chicago. Vincent, and Grant loses it. You don't want to lose many 4-on-2s, do you?
No, at the worst, Sam Vincent should have pulled up at the foul line and shot the jump shot. At least they get a good shot out of it.
Winding down to 4 minutes remaining in the opening period. Dick Stockton and Bill Cunningham here at the Silverdome, over 20,000 fans. Laimbeer spots up at the baseline. Pippen gets the rebound. And when you got 2 rookies in the lineup, Pippen and Grant, Chicago much improved over a year ago. Doug Collins has done a great job. Grant is fouled going up, and he'll shoot 2. John Sally makes his first appearance into the ballgame for the Detroit Pistons. Mahorn's second foul sends him out. Sally has been the starter while Mahorn was ailing. And Vinnie Johnson comes in for the Detroit Pistons. And he replaces Dumars. That's been a real problem spot for Detroit this year.
Problem, Vinny's probably having his poorest year since he's been a pro. But over the last 3 games, he's starting to get a little hot out here, averaging nearly 16 points a game. And that's something Detroit needs from him coming off the bench.
Vinnie Johnson, he is one of the best scorers off the bench and has been throughout the league. But when he's ice cold, Detroit really has no offense coming off the pond.
Not at all, and that's where they got to rely on those young rookies, second-year players, Rodman and Sally.
2 misses on one end. Vinnie Johnson way off the mark on his first attempt. Corzine the rebound. 3:35 remaining. 4-point lead. Jordan cuts it to 2, and 12 points for Jordan. And Chuck Daly's right on the mark because Michael Jordan is off to a sizzling start.
And you see Detroit, they're a team that doesn't have any inside power. It's someone to go to, really, except Brick Mahorn, and they live by the jump shot.
Dantley hooking over Corzine. He had to get it high, arced it perfectly, and Adrian Dantley now with 8 points. Vincent comes right back. Pippen gets the offensive rebound, and the foul called. against Chicago. A loose ball foul, and it's against Scottie Pippen.
You look at Adrian Dantley. Adrian Dantley is in 6'5". He's scored over 20,000 points now in his career, and he does it on the inside, taking the ball to the basket. You're not supposed to be able to do that in this league.
You know, some people say that 6'5" is giving him the benefit of the doubt, too.
Yes, that's exactly right. But what you'll notice when he drives to the basket, he makes himself so big, and his first priority is to draw the foul. And by the time his career is over, he has a chance to have made more free throws than any forward ever to play the game of basketball.
He misses there. He normally is a pretty good free throw shooter at 85%. Timeout with 3:07 remaining in the opening stanza. Since the halfway mark, Utah has the best record in the Western Conference.
When you told me, I was shocked. I did not realize they were that hot. I knew they were playing excellent basketball, but to be the best right now in the West is shocking.
1 out of 2 for Dantley and a 5-point lead. 3 minutes remaining in the first period. Pistons had a 7-point lead. Chicago has not been in front at all. And John Sally is now guarding Michael Jordan. Sally at 6'11" guarding Jordan. How's that for respect? Corzine misses Grant. And Pippen crashing the boards. And here's Isaiah Thomas pushing it up 2-on-2. Makes a smart move. Vinnie Johnson. And he travels, and I think he's reluctant to take the shot.
Absolutely. That's a shot you must take, and especially when you're a scorer and have that mentality as Vinnie Johnson, it shows he does not have confidence at this point.
So a chance for the Bulls to come within 3 or better with 2.5 to go. Off a screen, Jordan fighting through nicely is Vinnie Johnson. Jordan off balance. Doesn't matter. 14 for Michael Jordan on 7 field goals. Piston lead is 3. Teams play 2 overtime battles the first 2 times they played this year. Lane Beer off the mark, and here's Jordan. Under 2 minutes to go in the first period. Vincent, good feed to Corzine, who's fouled.
I'm shocked to see how the Chicago team has reacted to Sam Vincent. The change of this team, they never would have run, a month and a half ago in this situation. They would have ended up using the 24-second clock. Now here we see them, Jordan getting the ball to Vincent, making the right decision this time, and there's Corzine filling a lane. You never saw Dave Corzine out there filling the fast break lane.
Not in this decade. Here's James Edwards. 7'1" center. Also, he's going to be used as a power forward. Acquired from Phoenix for Ron Moore and a number 2 draft pick. John Paxson, who had been a starter for a good part of the year, now coming in at off guard. Lane Beer picked up his 2nd foul, and Corzine makes both free throws, and it's a 1-point lead for Detroit. So Detroit right now has Vinnie Johnson and Thomas at guard, and up front it's Sally, James Edwards, and Adrian Dantley, and a trap by the Bulls defensively. And traveling, so the trap has worked. On the turnover, the Bulls can now take the lead. And Granville Waiters comes into the ball game. Here's a guy who hardly ever plays. 6'11", but he's in there now.
Well, what dimension he can bring is he is a good shot blocker. He can block some shots. You won't expect him to do anything offensively, and they won't look to him much. He's a garbage player.
Paxson and Jordan at guard. And Jordan winds up on the floor, slides a few feet, and has 16 points. And the Chicago Bulls have their first lead of the ball game, 28-27, with 1.5 minutes to go. They were down by 7, and they have inched back with the trap defense and some good running. Vinnie Johnson hits.
Now you explain how he'll take that shot, and he won't shoot the open jump shot from the foul line.
I wonder if Chuck Daly said, if you don't take that shot, you're coming out.
Right, it's not a matter of him missing it. Chuck Daly will show the confidence. He's got to shoot that shot.
They double team Jordan. Finds Paxson. And Scottie Pippen. Wild shot, but they reverse the ball well, though. Under 1 minute to go, and Vinnie Johnson. Dantley fighting for the rebound, and a foul is called against the Chicago Bulls. A loose ball foul. Scottie Pippen, his 2nd foul.
Watch this. There's no describing this move. Under, up, above.
You're right. There is no describing the move. Pippen goes out of the game with 2 fouls, and Elston Turner comes in. Now, he's going to be an important man in the playoffs for Chicago. The Bulls know that they'll be playing the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. Turner is a great defensive player against big guards. So already, Doug Collins knows that Turner is getting minutes so that he can defend the likes of Moncrief and Pressey and Pierce and getting him ready for the playoffs.
And not only that, Doug Collins feels that he'll use him playing defensively against small forwards. So don't be surprised to see him matched up right now against Adrian Dantley.
Collins is using an 8-man rotation, but he calls the use of Turner's specialty minutes here. Detroit